1, go. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the next episode of Dan and Northernlion Plays Hearthstone Badly. Ryan, what's going on?
She just opened another legendary.
That one didn't pop up. Was that her fourth?
She probably removed you from her friends list because she doesn't want you to know.
No, she did. So Kate's been opening up packs for no more than 5 minutes, and was this her fourth one?
That's her 5th legendary in like 25 packs.
5 legendaries a day for 3 summers.
And they're actually good. She got Kazakus and then Kun the Forgotten King.
So you're playing on the inside. You said she was opening 40 packs, right?
Right, yeah.
And she got 5 out of 40. That's got to be like record open rates.
It's pretty ridiculous. Like, I hope she's recording it because people on YouTube are like not going to believe it.
It's real. I'm telling you, it's real.
There we go.
All right, cool. So we're doing a little Tavern Brawl action. You want to try to explain what the Tavern Brawl is?
I don't actually understand it. So it's like, it's completely perfectly curved. So on turn 1, you'll draw a 1-mana card. On turn 2, you'll draw a 2-mana card, etc., etc. But then it says, like, if you have them. And like, what the heck am I supposed to do with these dang mulligans, dude? This doesn't help me out at all.
So really, the perfect mulligan would be 1, 2, 3, right? Ideally.
I don't even know, because like you're guaranteed to draw a 1-mana card on your first turn if you have a 1-mana card.
Oh, this is like meta on top of meta on top of meta.
Yeah, I actually just do not understand this, but
do you think someone could build like the ultimate deck? Like
I guarantee someone could build the ultimate deck. What does that mean? I got no idea. I hope I build the ultimate deck, even though I don't even really understand what it does.
You know, I went a little sly and sneaky on this one. Ooh.
Oh, there's a synergy there. Except, thankfully, the Wisp is not a beast.
Well,
Dan, check this out.
Don't eat.
I spent 800 dust crafting these cards right here. Renounce Darkness. That did not work the way I thought it would.
Replace your hero power and what?
I'm a priest now.
No, you're not. You're married. Well, excuse me, priests can be married. I know that. I was just referring to a specific religion that we're going to get off the topic now before we trigger anyone. Anyways.
Oh, sure, okay.
All right. So you can play whatever you want. You're just going to get dealt a 3. You're going to get dealt a 2-banger next one.
I think so. I didn't think that was going to work the way that I thought it did. I was holding 3 1-mana cards. So if you look at the text for Renounce Darkness.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, look at all the effects of Renounce Darkness after you mouse over it.
Okay, replace your hero power with Warlock cards, and Warlock cards with another class. The cards cost 1 less. Right?
Yeah, correct.
So what ended up happening that didn't happen that you thought was going to happen?
Oh, I had a bunch of 1-mana cards in my hand. I thought those would become 0 mana, and then I would just fucking dice you. I put out like 4 0-mana cards on turn 1 and just ruin your life.
It didn't happen?
It did not happen, unfortunately.
That's pretty smart, Ryan. I'll give you credit on that.
It was sneaky. Smart, I don't know, but sneaky. Now I got no dang idea what's even happening here. But every card in my I'm gonna draw of 3-mana cards that cost 2 mana next turn because they're all 1 mana cheaper, which is weird. But
so you didn't get totally screwed. It just wasn't the ideal setup that you wanted.
Right? Yeah. Okay. I think at least. I don't know. It's very strange. I'll give you that.
Are you afraid of the dark?
Ooh, that could get interesting. Because you're healing, so it's like a -2 for you, really.
Yeah. Basically, if I use my hero power on myself, it's almost like I used your hero power.
Okay.
But
okay.
I gotta be honest, we're like through the looking glass now. I can't believe I labored so much and built a 30-card deck when I really should have just built like a 2-card deck and then had it autofill everything else because you're guaranteed to get you're guaranteed to draw that card on turn 2.
That's the second time. I think you may have Skyped it or something where you said through the looking glass. I don't know what that means.
I think it's from like JFK. The movie JFK.
Like, is he talking about the sniper lens or what is he talking about?
I don't know. I think it's like an Alice in Wonderland thing, you know, where like she goes through the looking glass.
What do
You know when she goes through the looking glass.
No, I don't. I don't think
know.
I've watched that movie because isn't it like super trippy?
You've never seen Alice in Wonderland.
The Disney movie?
I mean, I don't really like Alice in Wonderland as a story that much, but it's a seminal piece of Western media.
Okay, first off, I don't want to get lost down your rabbit hole, Ryan. What does seminal mean? Like seminal,
It's essential.
But Seminole, like Florida State Seminoles?
No, like from the seminal vesicles of a man's reproductive organs. It means that things come after it.
Seminole? I thought that was vas deferens.
I mean, there's a vas deferens down there as well, but there's a vast difference from what we're talking about and what I'm meant to be talking about.
All right, so through the looking glass, what does she turn into, like a mushroom or something at that point?
It's something like that.
Isn't that movie like analogy for drugs?
I believe that you are probably correct, yes.
Or is that just you're just placating?
No, I think you got it, honestly. Hey, Dan, check this out. Does it look familiar?
Hey, you can't use my beasts against me?
I even got synergy out of it. Thanks for the gold, boys. The Timberwolf, look at that. Gold Timberwolf. It's even got the hay was whipping up next to it. Oh, well, now it's gone forever.
He's got your buddy in hand. Okay, so tell me, those are brass knuckles, right?
Yes.
Because people in the comments are like, no, those aren't brass knuckles.
How could those not be brass knuckles?
I don't know. I'm trying to think what they.
Maybe,
like
maybe they're knuckle dusters or something.
Are those illegal in Canada?
I believe so. Yeah.
Have you ever owned a pair?
If I ever owned a pair of brass knuckles?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Here's a real question. That wasn't a real question. Have you ever punched someone in the head?
I don't believe so. No.
That's not true.
I don't think I have, man.
You never punched like Melf in the head when he was doing Melf stuff to you?
Oh, actually, I did. I got into a fight with one of my friends once, but I don't really remember why. And then, this is in the country, so his mom was just like, "Hey, don't do that." And we were like, "Yeah, that's a good point."
What do you mean it was in the country?
Well, I mean, like, I grew up in the country, like the rural, red state Canada.
You did? I thought you were like a suburb guy. You're like quintessential suburb guy.
What is that? That's almost an insult, isn't it?
Well, because you're well versed in. I don't picture you. So, did you grow up on a farm?
No, but I grew up next to a farm.
Did you grow up on like a plot of land?
We had like 3 or 4 acres or something. Yeah.
What?
So it's not huge, but it's huge by city purposes.
Yeah, but it's not like you're on 0.025 acres, which is like the standard, home size.
Yeah.
So, did you have like animals and stuff?
We had 2 cats.
We didn't have like a billy goat running around.
No, we didn't. We didn't live on a farm, Dan.
But 4 acres. What do you do with 4 acres? Did you have like juniper trees or something?
I was just like, it was overgrown down there, man.
I'm not gonna touch that one. But did you have to maintain it?
Someone had to maintain it, but I didn't have to maintain it.
Like your parents were like, hey,
there's nothing down this rabbit hole, honestly.
No, but like they weren't like, Ryan, hop on the John Deere and give it a old cut.
No, man, but we, it was very country-esque. We had a big pile of gravel on our front yard. Sometimes people would drive up, knock on our door, and be like, "Hey, I need some gravel. Can I take some of your gravel?" And we'd be like, "Hell yeah, dude! Shovel it into the back of your truck. You need some help? Take our." And if you've never lived in the country, dirt and gravel are like a prized resource. You'll just find piles of it on people's lawns, and then you just go up, and they'll be like, "Yeah, it's like, $10 a kilo or something."
Wait, where did the initial gravel come from?
I don't know, man. It's just, where does anything come from?
So you're saying one day you wake up and there's a pile of gravel on your driveway?
Well, no, it's like, it's just there in the earth.
I know, but it doesn't just rise up like a souffle. Yeah.
Well,
like were you digging up in the backyard looking for the Goonies' buried treasure and you came up with gravel?
I'm just saying, man. You honest? Just saying. Okay, check this out. I finally get a chance to use the card with like the worst name in the game.
The gravel hauler?
It's Mayor Noggenfogger.
I'll tell you, you want to know the best part about that card?
What?
Did you hear his entrance music?
Yeah. It's like, you know, whenever you play like a big minion, it goes like dong 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 dong. But this guy was like, it's like he tripped over his own shoes on the way into the building.
Almost out of time.
Wait, you're not gonna get away with this gravel thing.
What, dude? I don't know. You're like eight years old. You got gravel on your front lawn. It's just always been there. It's like the rocks and the earth.
But did you like fill it because of a water table in the area or something?
I have no idea where the gravel came from. Sometime, you know, maybe somebody came by and was like, hey, can I leave this gravel here?
And then you just let people dump it?
And then you give it back to, it's a take a penny, leave a penny jar, but with tiny little rocks.
I've never heard that.
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. I really needed that card. Come on. Oh, what?
So did you grow up in were you like a one street light kind of town where you grew up?
I grew up, like the closest house was almost a mile away on either side.
So what did you do?
We read like a lot.
Like
Did like a lot of reading.
You didn't play with neighborhood kids because there weren't.
I did. That's how I got in the fight, dude.
Yeah, but what would you do? Hitchhike to their house?
You ride your bike.
A mile?
Yeah, it's not that far.
For a little kid, it is.
It was like 10. You just get on your bike. It's like a 5-minute bike ride. I go 1 kilometer.
So baby.
So you did a lot. So you lived in isolation. You did a lot of reading.
I lived in Iceland, and I read a lot about the water table and, you know, the sale price for commodities such as gravel.
Oh no, I don't want to misplay this. Sleep. Almost misplayed it, boys.
I was gonna say you can still roast it here.
All right, boys. So, okay, that's just blows my mind. I just didn't picture you as a rural kid. Like I knew you have like a genetic history of being a baker.
What is that? Okay, what is a genetic history?
Like in your family lineage, you once told me that your Eternals are known for being great bakers.
Okay, sure.
Is that not a true statement?
I would say probably not, but I understand where you're coming from.
So I'm just gonna ask a blanket blanket question without specifics.
Sure.
There's no one in your family lineage that makes great bread.
There is a person in my family lineage who makes great bread. The way you phrase that, it sounds like it's code for a drug deal now.
No.
It's like, yeah, dude. I know someone who makes great bread. Don't even sweat it.
You're the one talking about selling kilos out of your driveway.
It's gravel, man.
I can't believe that. So you have a pile of gravel. Would you climb on it? Was it used for entertainment?
No, would you climb on a pile of gravel if you saw it?
If I was a little kid, I would.
Actually, we did oftentimes.
I think this is it.
There's nothing worse than like a gravel, have you ever scraped your leg on gravel? Like the tiny rocks get under your skin and you're like, this is horrible.
Yeah, and they get stuck in the open wound.
Yeah. You gotta dig it out.
So at one point, if you were to go home now, so you go home for the holidays, is there a pile of gravel at your house?
No, we wised up after 10 years. We're like, this is silly. Nobody should be living around this much gravel.
So this is my last gravel.
I spent 3 of my teenage years in the suburbs, and then I went to college.
Wait, this is my last gravel question.
Okay.
So I just need to get a visual of it. Are we talking you take an F-150, fill it up with gravel, and dump it on your driveway? Or are we talking a mound?
I would describe it as maybe being 10 feet high. But I was also 4 feet high then, so I don't really know, but...
No one man should have all that gravel.
I know, that's why people wanted to take it. They're like, that's a ridiculous amount of... We never used it for anything.
I feel like I'm not getting the whole story here.
Well, I feel like I'm giving it to you, but you need to accept at face value that there was just the gravel there. I was not an adult. I was not involved in the acquisition of said gravel. I wish that I were.
Did you ever ask your parents, hey, Ma, why do we have all this gravel?
No, we lived with my grandparents and my parents, and that was my grandparents' domain.
Well, did you ever ask your grandparents why they had that gravel?
No, I was just stoked.
Is it a status symbol in your small
Yeah,
community?
yeah, it's like whoever has the most gravel is like. When we arranged our marriages, you know, in 8th grade, it was really good for us. Like, oh my, what?
That's, I mean, I'm still, like, I'll let lying dogs lie. That's not the saying. Sleeping dogs
No.
lie. But I'm not,
got it.
I mean, I just hope that at one day, before it's all said and done, you tell me the real reason why you had a mound of a 10-foot
I don't understand the gravel any more than anybody else, okay? All I know is that it's always been there. It's probably still there to this day.
Yeah, but you're not the kind of guy to walk past something that's been there for a lifetime. You're always like, oh, why is this here? I don't understand it.
That's a good point.
But
I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you. Take a drive out in the Canadian country sometimes.
What,
Pontiac Sunfires sitting on people's lawns and just big piles of gravel everywhere.
what if you were to direct me to a rural suburb similar to yours? Which Ontario
I have an axe.
suburb would I visit?
Yeah, this isn't where I grew up, but you should visit like Sterling, Ontario.
Okay. We're getting closer, boys. We're getting closer. I was playing Elite Danger with Barry yesterday, and he wouldn't tell
Yeah.
me the name of his suburb that he lived in.
That he lives in now?
Yeah.
You should actually take like great offense to that. 'Cause I know where he lives.
I mean, I know he lives in Seattle, but not Seattle proper.
I'm not telling you. I mean, this is you start down the ladder of giving out a little bit of information, and then you feel compelled to give out all the information.
Well,
If Bear doesn't want me to tell you, I'm not going to tell you.
did he give it to you on a recording? Or
Look,
just
no, this is the end of this line of questioning. I know your game, Dan Gheesling.
Oh man, I didn't take offense to it. I took more of it as like he's protecting his digital identity.
I think that's fair. I mean, I have never. It's not like you've ever released my home address or anything, so.
Or your cell phone.
Or yeah, although the one time I thought we were kind of close, but I think that was the point.
All right. What do you got some good cards here.
Dude, I don't know. I really did not realize when I put Renounce Darkness in my deck that I would not know any of the cards that I have. It's like all of my Warlock cards get replaced by cards that are not Warlock cards. So now I'm a Warrior.
You are a warrior.
Gravel Warrior. Where did you grow up? Do you have like you didn't have gravel everywhere? Or did you grow up like around 8 Mile?
No, I didn't grow up around 8 Mile. We had gravel like on our playground. But
Yeah,
but
that's
you could,
like we had that too.
But you could touch like where I grew up. You could touch the person's house next door.
Okay, yeah.
Like almost. If you were like did a full wingspan, you could almost do that. But that was normal life. I just can't imagine. Like, so if you wanted to go outside, would
Yeah.
your parents let you go outside or not?
Yeah, it was like, you know, you can go as far as like there was like a major road that was 6 kilometers away. Well, major for like where we lived. That was 6 kilometers away from the house, and they're like, just don't go past that. So I had like a 6-kilo radius around me.
Why was that the radius?
Because once you get to that road, there's actually traffic. Whereas on the on the road that leads to that road, you might see like, you know, 2 cars an hour or something.
So, but you'd be out there by yourself.
Yeah, man.
So, like, is that like? when
It's
you-
a statistical fact that nothing bad has ever happened to anybody in the country.
But
There,
would you
name one bad thing that's ever happened to somebody in the country. You can't.
That's pretty true. Well, I mean, we could go down the Rob Ford, but he did that to himself. But I guess my question for you is, would you just talk to yourself? Like, what do you do as a?
What do you know? You listen to the radio, man.
Like, did you have a Walkman?
Of course, Walkman, Discman doesn't do too well on the gravel roads, though. It skips a little bit, but
So you'd walk out in your backyard where the overbrush is with your Walkman, and just hang out.
I was riding my bike, man.
Did you have an off-road bike?
Yeah, you got to in those day and age. You know, you got gravel roads and just freaking tundra, gravel everywhere. But childhood was largely dominated by gravel. In case this is not clear.
I'm just like, honestly, there's few things that you could tell me that I'd be shocked about, but the fact
Okay.
that you grew up in like farm town is one of them. So was your graduating class like 12?
My graduating class was 80, but or like 85, but it pulled people from all over the surrounding area. Like it's one of those schools that like kind of falls in the middle of everywhere else. So we got like the kids that didn't fit in any other school district. Have you seen the film The Longest Yard?
I have not. Is that with Burt Reynolds?
I'm just making a joke.
But
it does. The original does have Burt Reynolds in it though.
Well, didn't they redo it?
Yeah, with Adam Sandler. The modern era is Burt Reynolds.
So, what was your grade school like? Graduating class of 10?
Nah, it was probably like 50.
I wonder.
Okay, but I don't
It's
understand.
like two full 8th grade classes, maybe.
Would you ride the bus?
Of course.
So would the bus ride like take 2 hours to pick everyone up?
It took a long ass time, man. Like it was like a status symbol. It's like, oh, you get picked up by the bus like 20th. That means your ride to school is only like 15 minutes. If you get picked up by the bus first, you gotta wake up at like 4:30 in the morning.
That's no joke.
It's a slight exaggeration, but it's you get the idea.
Grandmash Hellscream. Where'd you get him from?
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad because I didn't put these cards in the deck. They just sort of showed up, you know?
So there's like, so I didn't have any 8-drop cards. I had them craft too. There's not very many 8-drop cards.
Yeah, I think we both used Eldritch Horror.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still chasing that King Crush dream, right?
I don't have it. That's to me like Ryan and I were joking about it. Like I really want King Crush, and he's like, "Oh, dude, in the current meta, it's not really that good." Did you say no one ever plays it?
Well, I mean, it may one day be played. It's just that the Hunter had better cards at 8 mana. Like instead of playing King Crush, you could play Call of the Wild, which is like 3 pretty good beasts would come out. One of them has charge, one of them buffs other minions. So it's like I'd never play King Crush, but maybe now. Maybe the time is right.
I don't know how you don't like King Crush. It's fast, it's quick.
It does its job.
It does its job.
It's folded, it's tempered, and it does its job.
Okay, I don't want to go back down this wormhole, but have you ever visualized what his final seconds may have looked like?
I don't want to go down this wormhole. But in the moment of him dying, what do you think he was thinking about? That's basically what you did to me right there.
No, basically I'm saying like say you had a high-end drone filming it.
Right.
Do you think it would have been cinematic?
Wait, are you asking me if there's some kind of ethical argument? Like maybe I should call the police or something instead of filming this poor man dying?
No, I'm saying do you think it was cinematic in the way in which, things came to a close on that story?
I mean, I hope so for his sake. It seems like I don't feel comfortable talking.
All right, we could put a.
Let's go back to the gravel pit, man.
We can, but I still think now. You know what? Here's my line of thinking now. That's Gabe calling. Hang on. My line of thinking is,
hey Dan, it's Julie. Would you want to come back next summer?
No. Come on.
No.
One of the things.
Hey, Dan, it's Wes Moonves. CBS is in a rating slump. We need you.
So let me just put an end cap on this gravel talk. So my line of thinking is that your elder grandparents had gravel for a reason, and you probably never knew because the Laterno family is an organized crime family in your rural sub-town.
You bury them in gravel?
Yes.
It's like the worst. It's like just a collection of tiny loose rocks. You're just asking for the bodies to be found.
Haven't you ever seen episode 3 of Breaking Bad?
I have.
Don't you know what Jesse and Walt do to the body in the bathtub?
They dissolve it, but they don't dissolve it in gravel. They use acid.
All
I
right.
was wondering what this guy was talking about.
Speaking of acid, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Dan, you got beat by a deck that doesn't even exist.
What
Like
does that
when you
mean?
play this card, it just makes a new deck out of nothing.
Yeah, what do you... Okay, out of 5 eggs, what do you rate this Tavern Brawl?
Like a fucking 0.
0 eggs. Okay, the last
Well,
week,
I like it. I like it better than last week's.
last week was what?
Last week was like a -3 because
No.
every time he played a card, that panda lady would come up and be like, "You'll never get my jade lotuses," and then like the other guy would be like, "Boo, what's a lotus? Shut up, you nincompoop!" Was like, I don't need that. We can do our own banter. I don't need them to do that.
So
Death Rattle Brawl was like a 3 though.
okay, so that's set the bar. So that was a 3. You said this was a negative.
This is a 0. I'll
0.
give this a 0 right now.
Okay. I agree. I'd say that I like the double death rattle. For me, I'm a simple Tavern Brawl guy. Just give me something cheap and easy, and I'll take it.
Yeah, double Death Rattle. You go into your deck builder, you type in Death Rattle, and then you grab the loot hoarders and move on.
And speaking of moving on, in our next episode, we got a couple doozies for you because we're doing some homemade crafting. Some might say homemade bread baking in terms of the themes we're going to do, but you guys will see that Monday, Wednesday, Friday when we post.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Yeah.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So we'll see you guys Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Correct.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, check out the other person's perspective so you can see how bad their deck was. And we'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Later.